Hello YouTubers, and thank you for tuning into today's very different video on YouTube. I'm going to be doing some more gardening and stuff, but this time I'm going to be doing a bit of a showcase type thing on my gardening video on YouTube because I've already done quite a lot of things. There's been a lot of good news in the garden, but there's also been a lot of bad news. But first off, I'm going to kick off and show you some new plants right now. Yeah. Okay, without any things, I might probably jump into certain bad conclusions of like, here are the new flowers I've just purchased, and actually this one here is the odd one out, but of course I'm going to talk about these two. This one here is an Osteoperum flower, and this one here is another fuchsia flower, and hooray! Thank goodness! I bought these flowers because, hey, that one there cost about £3, and this one here cost about £1.50, but despite the fact it looked pretty terrible. Look, some of the blossoms are just dying off. I'm very sorry about that. But nevertheless, somehow, yeah, what is that? Is that a fruit? What is that thing here? Is that a fruit? Is that the fruit from fuchsia? I can't really tell. I don't know. I'm not sure if fuchsia produce fruit berries like that for birds. I can't quite recall or tell. But anyways, this is what I've just been heavily investing in. So I've purchased some Osteoperum and also fuchsia flowers. Both these came from the same shop at different prices. They came from like, there's a place called Rubery, not far away from Longbridge in Birmingham. I think it's from a local Tesco store that I purchased. And then I've also bought from a local garden centre 2 weeks ago, or 1 or 2 weeks ago, I've actually bought some more nasturtium seedlings. And I tell you what, they look quite good. Actually, I bought a seed packet of them for 99p. I've only got one of those seedlings starting to pop out, but I might have to probably transplant this one a couple of weeks later. I don't think the rest of the seeds are going to perform well because I need a lot more darkness to germinate. So maybe it's best if I try and somehow think of a way to preserve and to look after my seeds. And all of a sudden, hey, that was somehow really good of trying to germinate those seeds like so. That was somehow really good. And of course, yes, one misconception I've actually been learning somehow was to water the compost first, then add the seeds, and then add more compost. Now, that to me was a total mistake from a YouTuber called How to Do Stuff. I can't really remember what it's called, but I think it was talking about how to grow nasturtiums, but I think if you don't water nasturtiums after watering the compost, well then your seeds will not start to germinate. Like this one here. Very successful germination somehow and stuff, but luckily enough I've just ditched out all 20 of these, including this one here. Luckily enough it was a nice success. I shall also... What are those green things doing? Get out of here! These are like nasty little green aphids. I have to get rid of these little green mini green things. But anyways, I love green stuff, especially nasturtium plants. But hopefully as weeks go by they should blossom into like beautiful red and yellow and orange fiery coloured flowers. That's very, very nice to know. And I might also invest on like transplanting either of these two. That could somehow work. But I think the most important thing is that if I go into the garden, we've got a lot of good news and we've got a lot of bad news. Okay, first things first. Sorry about my rotten harvesting of radish, but I think there's been a recent spate of radish being dumped, and I think I've been harvesting a lot of these radishes, of course. 90% of them, the bad news here is they failed because unfortunately I think I've sown all of the radishes, and I think I did way too much sowing of the radish seedlings, and it looks like they've all been dead. So what I could have done was waited for weeks of growing so that the radishes can successfully grow so nicely. Yeah, I should have just left it for like weeks. That would have somehow ramped up the process so much. Oops, I've just dropped it onto the floor, right? That's not great. I shall... Ow. Yeah, put this thing away. There's actually quite a lot of stuff here that's been penetrating towards my neighbour's garden, which I don't really want to know, because of course we need to safeguard other people's territories and stuff, hey? Ain't that right, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Okay, moving right along. I've actually also got some further investments and plans to try and make this garden well established as it is somehow. I've got lots and lots of plant pots right here. This is somehow looking good. But yeah, we've got more of these flowers here. I can't really tell. I think they're like daisies, but I can't really quite recall. I'm not sure if I might be able to actually transplant those things. They are everywhere. I've actually been sowing lots of these seeds, and I think they've been doing relatively well, so I might wait for them to actually grow nicely as time goes by. But what I will do is I shall show you what I've been doing. I've actually been transplanting a sunflower seedling, which in a sense has been having trouble to grow because of the terrible weather conditions that we've been having so far in the UK. But I'm actually sort of thinking of transplanting this sunflower seedling into one of the bigger pots so that it can grow sufficiently and efficiently. And that will be a good way to, how would you say it, speed up the process of growing my sunflower seedlings, as always. But then, you know, time always seems to take longer than usual, doesn't it, hey? It certainly does. Anyways, another sunflower seedling. That's nice and thin, but it's not wide enough, so ho-hum. More of these seedlings, which I can't really tell. I think that's sunflower. I think those are those meant to be salvia seedlings? I can't really tell. Then we've also got more seedlings right here. Nice big ones here. And of course, yes, as I'm trekking through the garden here, we've got marigold, lobelia flowers. I love the containers and stuff. That's quite good. This one here, I have no idea what flower it is, but unfortunately I'm starting to see signs that this flower is dying off. Probably because of the cold weather it has been suffering from. Yeah, or maybe it's already been pollinated. But nevertheless, somehow it's actually quite an excellent and decent flower. It really has spent so much of its time just blossoming outside. It's such a beautiful flower, actually. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and trek along with some construction vehicles in the background. We've got more marigold seedlings. There's some wildflower seedlings here that I've actually started to sow down, of course. And it looks like we've also got some little tomato seedlings. Big tomato plants, which have actually been attracting a lot of flies and bees. And that's actually a very good thing because, you know, Mother Nature does all the little hard work and stuff. You know, the little flies, if I can... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to spook you. Just trying to fly off to another flower pot where the tomatoes are. Get out of here. Come on, do your hard work, man. I'm not gonna spook you off. It's probably sheltering from the rain and stuff. It's trying to thin down through the ground. Hey, but anyways, we've got this tomato seedling, which I've been failing to balance. But somehow it's been doing relatively well. That's the nice thing about this time. Okay, about this plant. Of course, we've got lots of petunias. Some of these petunia flowers have been dying off, but I've just been deadheading them so that they can continuously flower after lots of stuff. And look at this! At the very start, we had not many petunias, but look at this! It's a huge palooza of petunias. Look at this party of petunias, man. This is just beyond awesome. And then we've also got some marigold seedlings, which I might have to probably move them to a much sort of, you know, not so thickish area, so that they won't be attacked by such very thick grass. In fact, the grass has been very thick, very lush, and very green and fertile because we had lots and lots of rain. In fact, bountifuls of rain. Just absolutely crazy when you talk about the weather, hey? Just beyond that absurd, man. Just weird. And I've also noticed there's also been some weeds growing here. There's some dandelions here. Some of those have actually started to emerge, like this one here. I really don't like these because they've actually got like a nasty, spiky and thorny, sort of prickly appearance with the leaves and stuff. But these are quite interesting to look at. There's more sunflower seedlings, more marigolds, some more of these here. More marigolds, more dandelions here. Yeah, just beyond crazy. And here is the lettuce flower, the wild lettuce flower. They've actually started to grow here. And somehow this is what I've been planting. It looks like a small tree when you start to see that. It looks like a tree sapling, doesn't it? Looks beautiful in its way somehow. It looks fairly nice. We've got some little tiny yellow flowers with 5 petals like a starfish. How cute is that, hey? A little bit like that wild cabbage on the background here, eh? Which I might talk about later on. And also, guess what? We've got some calendula flowers blossoming on the background. Yay! It's been taking 2 to 3 months of spending my time rehabilitating my garden. Woohoo! Okay, let's take a look. Lavender right here. And we've also got more flowers right here, which haven't started to blossom yet, but they are trying their best to grow. So I'll just wait for a while for them to actually grow somehow. And lots and lots of nice lavender right here. The lavender have started to establish their bubble, which is really, really nice. Nasty sorts of radish being harvested sloppily. Okay, here's something I really want to talk about, and this is something I nearly didn't want to talk about. And of course, yes, it's this pile of feathers. It's from a feral pigeon, and I presume from yesterday there has been an attack of I would say a pigeon being mauled by a sparrowhawk. And I suspect that the pigeon was pretty much dying. In fact, I think that sparrowhawk, I think it really did sort of hammer down that pigeon. I can't really remember. There was a feral pigeon. It would have either carried its meal, or maybe it might have dropped down to the bottom of the floor. Maybe it must have dropped it by accident. I can't really work out what it was, but I presume maybe it would have been a buzzard or a peregrine falcon has done this kind of hard work, who has done some cleaning up. And I would have suspected that after that, the pigeon would have been lying dead throughout the afternoon and the evening, and then the cats. I think there was a black and white cat that has decided to take down and sort of chowder down and scavenge just... I think it didn't eat the head, but I think it just ate the internal organs. But I don't think it ate the wings, it didn't eat the tail, it just ate the middle part. Let's just say the belly part of the pigeon, in which it was going for. I think it has basically eaten just, let's just say, 1/3 of the bird. Sorry for the rhyme, but later on the foxes came along and ate it. In the very end, that night time of course. Lots and lots of wildflower meadows starting to re-establish. I can still see a bit of traces of radish starting to straightforward emerge, because I haven't harvested that much somehow. But what I can see is a big flurry, a very big, I would just say, lushness of green meadow plants. And look at this, look at how it's been transformed, magically transformed after a couple of months. Let's just say about 6 weeks later, it has done such a fantastic job of transforming my garden into an absolute oasis. All I can see is that we're getting lots of nice looking plants. But don't be fooled here, because guess what? There's so many aphids here that are straightforward at taking it. Look at this. Look at that. This is just horrifying. We just don't want these little green buggies trying to decay. Look what they've done to my plants. That's not a very good show. All I'm seeing is lots and lots and lots of aphids. And look at this. Look at the damage of what's been doing to my leaves. And that's just a poor show. I mean, give me a frippin' break. I feel like we need to introduce more wasps and ladybirds into the neighborhood, because, hey, if that was a thing, I mean, wasps can sting you, but if there was more ladybirds right in my neighborhood, it would have been a great thing to have. And hey, that would have been somehow totally nice, just to get rid of those nasty little pesky aphids who want to come along and destroy my backyard garden's plants I've just sown. We've got these strange plants, which I've got no idea, but I keep them as a bit of a scenic thing. I might try and get rid of those nettles, because they're very nasty, very gnarly, stinging little plant weed type bush shrub things. But what I can do after taking out the nettles is I might as well replace all this stingy stuff with something not. And we've got a dragonfly on the back. Wow, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe it. We've got a dragonfly outside. Can you see it? Oh my god, we've got a big dragonfly in the neighborhood here. That's just beyond awesome. Oh my crikeys, I can't believe this. I'm just capturing a stunning little dragonfly. Can you see it moving? That little thing. Look how big this is. It's massive. It's quite as big as a bird. It's massive. Look at that thing. Wow. I love how it flies, especially in rainy weather. Unlike the bug's life. How cool is that? Oh my god. Wow, such a big dragonfly, man. It's catching all kinds of insects on the wing. So awesome. I love seeing this. This is beyond amazing. Oh my god, I can just sit and watch that little critter for hours. Especially with the running audience. Can you see it moving? Oh my god, I love this. I might as well just show it to you in close up. There it is. Can you see that thing moving? That is, of course, a dragonfly. I think it's an emperor dragonfly. Look how fast. It's very Houdini, this thing. Look how it flies. It's just so stunning. Look at this creature. It's just so fantastic to watch. Who knows, there might be a bird coming along to eat that bug. Whoa, look at that. It's just performing such a spectacular show. Oh my god, I'm certainly distracted by the dragonfly. It is just amazing. My god, that is such an amazing bug. Oh my god, look at the way it's moving. And it's just moving up and down all the time. It's just so nice. Just hawking around for insects on the wing. Just amazing to see that. And look at that. Just so beautiful watching it. And apart from the whole neighborhood here, let's take a look at the other flowers. Okay, we've got the wild cabbage flowers right over here. I can't see any more plant plots. Well, plant pots, honestly, because I can't. I nearly just said plots, but it's plant pots. Oh, don't forget, I nearly had dyslexia, didn't I? Crikeys, I feel like I need to go to grammar school for that purpose, eh? Of course, there's, I presume that's nice. We've got little flowers here. I think it's the same plants as these ones there. I think, and I've just kicked. Oh my crikeys, what the hell was I doing? That was a little bug hotel that I just made from like 2 years ago. Oh, and finally, sunshine started to appear, but okay, let's go ahead and straightforward ride along in this video here, eh? Because we've got the wild cabbage flowers. Got a June flower here, which in a sense won't flower this year until the next following year. I know these flowers are perennials. Hopefully, it should start to regrow basically the entire thing. And I think my camera's just going a little bit funny because there's been, yeah, saliva on my screen, hey? I'll have to flip back to where I've just viewed the flowers somehow. Whoops, sorry about that, but I'll tell you what, guys, look what we've got. Nice calendulas, yes! And there's a hoverfly trying to pollinate. It's so nice, and I think I've just spooked it because I must have been totally excited. And my crikeys, it has taken about 2 months, or 1.5 months, to get this whole flower getting along. Now, the first blossom, it failed, but luckily enough, we've got 2 nice, well-established looking blossoms. They shall hopefully start to produce some nice, fertile, and very good seeds by the end of summer. That should be very, very good somehow. And we've also got more calendula flowers starting to look how they're growing. It's so nice. We've got 2 more of these. I shall continuously deadhead them plants, deadhead the flowers so that I can continue, you know, flowering them. That should somehow work, hopefully for next year, hey? They are treated as annuals. Some of them might also be treated as perennials because they can live for a long time, I think. But yeah, they're quite nice things. Very, very cool. And of course, yes, we've also got some marigolds, some oregonian flowers. That was the site of where the wild lettuce was. But yeah, we've got some mint. Nice mint for tea. And then we've also got lots of marigold flowers. And then we've also got a beautiful fuchsia flower, which unfortunately has been performing so badly because of the stupid weather conditions that we've been having in the UK. It's not hot, but it has been very relatively cold for a July like this. But hey, the summer sunshine is just around the corner. But it's not going to be feeling like as if it was 30 degrees, I'm afraid, because, you know, this weather event has decided to turn a little bit vile. But hey, let's not go ahead and straightforward say no way Jose for that part, eh? Look at all the marigolds. And the wind has decided to attack my camera because, hey, it really is such a strange and obnoxious windy day outside. Okay, let me just take a look at the marigolds and see how they're doing. We've got lots of... Look at the marigolds. They're continuously blossoming. That's just fantastic. I like the fact that we've got so many of these marigolds here. And we've also got little hoverflies. This one here is straightforward, having a nice go at pollinating up my flower and stuff. It's so nice. Do they actually sort of die off? let's just say by the end of this year. Well, hopefully they do, because by next year's spring I might have to cut all of it off. And somehow, well, we've got more of these little bulbs, these little buds. They'll straightforward produce more of these fuchsia bulbs if the weather gets warm enough. And hopefully, once I cut these down, the branches will hopefully start to regrow. As cool as this sounds. Yeah, that's about it. And I have to say, these calendula flowers were the absolute hotspot of this video, alongside the dragonflies. Those beautiful flowers have certainly reached that point where they've grown nice and tall. And I think it's that tallest point. I mean, look at this. Look at this, man. Look at that. It's just beyond crazy on just how time has literally flown by. Now, originally I was going to put them onto the flower beds at the very front part. But let me just show you some other bonuses because I'm so excited. Okay, passing by all the other plants. Nice meadow wildflower things. There's the flower basket. Lots and lots of other things. Okay, let me just show you before I finish off and conclude this video. There's actually some phone calls in this video, hey, but we've got lots and lots of great stuff here. We've got some geraniums here where I can't see any flower heads. Those ones that I presume I think these two are the flower heads that will be emerging later on sometime this year. So yes, the geranium it has failed earlier on because, well, the leaves weren't doing good, because I suspect there were some nasty disorders here as well too. And got a funny feeling that the leaves have started to grow very nicely, well established. So yep, that's very, very nice. And apart from the geranium flower here, we've also got a little, oh my goodness, is that a pansy? That is so good. That's so nice. Unfortunately, it's been broken off. But these are nice little flowers, little pansy flowers. They are beyond awesome. Thank goodness I've got a nice actual flower growing in my backyard garden. A little purple bunch of pansies. It's beyond amazing, even though it's been taken down by these stupid aphids that are going on at the moment. And that was quite amazing seeing the geranium flower. Hopefully it should start to blossom by the summer holidays. And I tell you what, it's been so awesome showing you all kinds and all sorts of flowers that I've been planting so far of late. It's been so chronic that I have to get through, oh man, over the manic weather and stuff. It's almost like just beyond crazy. And obviously I just can't tell you just how salubrious this place is. It's looking so much better. Might as well try and let you guys to stay yourselves a little bit tuned, because hopefully one day I might be able to transplant the osteopoems and the fuchsia flowers that I might do sometime later on this week if the weather gets nice and warm. Okay, because obviously the weather has been very terrible, honestly, throughout the rest of July. Where is our summer? And I'm sort of thinking, where the hell is summer? I always seem to beg that question far too much. I better leave this video here now. So if you really enjoyed this very marvellous and miraculous video of garden stuff and all guff, I guess. So please give this video a like, subscribe for more for that videos in the future. And as always, thanks so much for watching and bye for now.